What is up guys, Zach here from the Chaos Galaxy, and today I'm going to be doing another Archetypes 101 episode, and today we're going to be going over the archetype which is coming out in the next set of starter decks, and that is an archetype for the planet Gaios, and they are called the Nightjungle cards. And if you don't know the planet Gaios, basically it's kind of the nature or forest planet, and the way the planet works is because it's like a sort of nature and ecosystem. It's all about combos, so everything kind of works in harmony with each other to benefit off other cards' abilities. And yeah, it's probably the most complicated planet to use if you were to use a Gaios-based galaxy. But because some of the moves are so complicated, they're some of the most powerful and satisfying to pull off. So I'll get straight into it. Also, if you haven't checked out the other archetype that will be released in the next set of starter decks, the Boulder Dragons, there'll be a link to their video. But for now, I'll introduce you to the Nightjungle cards. So, the Nightjungle is a weird place on the planet Gaios where there's a lot of creatures called the beasts of the Nightjungle, and basically the way they live is they eat the trees of the Nightjungle, which will come in the form of permanent resource cards. So to use the ability of any beast of the Nightjungle, it'll basically involve the creature eating and killing a tree of the Nightjungle. So, the first card we have here is Tomga, the beast of the Nightjungle. He's a 3-star with 130 power and 150 health, and he reads, if a Nightjungle creature on your planet would be killed by an opponent's card, you can instead kill a Nightjungle resource card on your planet. So again, it's like combos, the two types of cards working together. So that's the first beast of the Nightjungle. And then the first tree of the Nightjungle is Sleek. This card reads, whilst it's on your planet, because it's permanent, all Nightjungle creatures on your planet gain 20 power, which isn't too bad. But then, when this card is killed by the ability of a Nightjungle creature, that creature gains 100 power. So, for example, you have your Tomga here. Your opponent attacks it. You say, no, I'm going to use Tomga's ability to kill my Sleek Tree of the Nightjungle in order to protect him. And because your Sleek has just been killed, your Tomga gains 100 power. So yeah, you sort of create all these nice little 2-card combos between the trees and the creatures of the archetype. So, the next card I'm going to show you is another Beast of the Nightjungle. He's a bit more powerful. He is Cracker, Beast of the Nightjungle. He's got 290 power and 190 health with 5 stars. And he reads, once per turn you can kill a Nightjungle resource card on your planet to shuffle up to 2 of your kill's Nightjungle cards back into your galaxy. So say your Tomga's dead, you play your Cracker and you've got a Sleek on your planet. You can kill the Sleek, your Cracker would then go up to a massive 390 power, and you can then shuffle these 2 cards back into your galaxy. Pretty simple, but pretty effective. The next card is another Tree of the Nightjungle, and this is Iak, Tree of the Nightjungle. I changed the ability of this because I've had to play around with a lot of the cards. That's why the text box looks a bit weird. But this one reads, if this card is killed by the ability of a Nightjungle creature on your planet, your opponent loses 1 point for every creature on their planet, which can be really good if your opponent's got, say, 3 creatures. That's 3 points they're going to lose. But then if they have none, obviously the card's not going to do anything, so you've got to time it right and be quite clever with it. But this card also has the ability to combo off with another card outside the archetype, which is Gomp from set 2. And every time your opponent loses a point, he gains 50 power and health, so some more abilities to incorporate other Gaios creatures into the deck. So that's Iak, Tree of the Nightjungle. The next card we have is the Boss Monster. Now, this isn't really a Beast of the Nightjungle or a Tree of the Nightjungle. It's the King of the Nightjungle, and his name is Uram, King of the Nightjungle. I've tried to use as many bright colours as I could on these cards in case you couldn't tell. But yeah, he is an 8-star with 360 power and 340 health. So he is actually the weakest boss creature in starter deck so far, unlike the Boulder Dragon boss. But he has a very good ability, which is to do with the trees of the Nightjungle. So, again, I've changed this ability so the text box looks a bit weird. But depending on the number of Nightjungle resource cards on your planet, this creature cannot be killed by these card types. So if you've got 1 Nightjungle resource on your planet, he can't be killed by attachment cards. If you've got 2 on your planet, he can't be killed by activator cards. And if you have 3 on your planet, he can't be killed by resource cards. So he's pretty much immune to everything at that point, unless your opponent has a really strong creature that can get past him. So, you know, it takes quite a lot of setup to get him out, and the cards must stay on your planet, so if you kill one of the trees for a Nightjungle ability, he'll stop being immune to something. But nonetheless, he's a pretty cool boss monster, I think, and I don't think he's too overpowered, although he is good. Next up is probably the best tree of the Nightjungle, and in terms of artwork it's my favourite as well, and this is Guok, Tree of the Nightjungle, and this card reads, if this card on your planet is killed by the ability of a Nightjungle creature, that creature cannot attack this turn, but at the end of the turn you draw 2 cards, which is absolutely insane. And I think the weakest part of this deck is going to be getting the cards to your hand that you need, because obviously to get a combo off, you need to have these like 2 different cards in your hand, as opposed to just being able to play like 1 card like the Boulder Dragons can. So having this kind of draw power is going to be really, really helpful in the deck. The next card is the final beast of the Nightjungle, and he's definitely the weakest in terms of stats. As you can see, he's a 1-star with 20 power and 30 health, but he is a rare, and his ability reads, only once, whilst he's alive, you can kill a Nightjungle resource card on your planet to kill 1 creature on your opponent's planet. So he's probably got the strongest ability out of all the Nightjungle creatures, although soon after you play him I think he's going to get killed, so there's not much more to say about Glur. The final card for the archetype, this is the biggest archetype I've made for the game with 8 cards so far, but this card is Akru, Tree of the Nightjungle. And one problem this galaxy is going to have is zones. Obviously it's got creatures, so you'll need to buy creature and battle zones, but the amount of resource cards it uses means resource zones are going to be very valuable as well. So Akru reads, if this card on your planet is killed by a Nightjungle creature's ability, you can add 1 resource conjurer to your hand that's either killed or in your galaxy. So that just gives you some more resource zones, and obviously Resource Conjurer will be included in the starter deck, so it just gets off a little combo like that, which is quite nice, I think, allowing you to make your planet a bit bigger to play more Trees of the Nightjungle. But anyway, they're all the cards in the archetype. I'm going to quickly go over some combos, and all the combos are quite self-explanatory. There aren't many like big 5-card moves you can do. It's basically just a kind of one-on-one combination between every beast of the Nightjungle and every tree of the Nightjungle, and I think the archetype's going to be really interesting. The only thing is there are quite a few downsides to it. Although it has a lot of potential, and I think it could actually beat any other archetype in the game very easily, but it could also lose to any archetype in the game. And the main reason is because it'll lose to itself. If you draw a load of the trees of the Nightjungle and no creatures, you can't do anything. Similarly, if you draw all these cards and don't draw any trees of the Nightjungle, basically none of these cards have abilities anymore, and none of their stats are that amazing. I mean, King of the Nightjungle could probably, finish off a game on its own, but the other ones, Glur and Tonga, don't really have great stats, so that's going to be a bit annoying. But hopefully, if players use the right amount of draw power cards, searchability cards with the planet Gaios, and cards like the magical Zemelian Tree, could be really good. Things they obviously lose out to though are cards like Meteoroid Storm and Bolide Comet, which kill permanent resource cards. So with the release of set 2, this card's going to probably be one of the strongest cards to use against this galaxy. But another way I thought to get around the cards is because you're going to be buying a lot of resource and creature zones, and there aren't really any effective ways to free play these cards from your planet. And some of them have quite high stars like Kraka and Uram, King of the Nightjungle. So another card to help beat this galaxy would be the card Angel's Share, which makes your opponent just lose 3 stars. And if you lock them out of buying zones and playing their creatures, they're obviously not going to be able to get anywhere. So that's going to be a big problem for this galaxy. So guys, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think of this archetype. I may still have a play around with some of the abilities because I need to have some battles using these cards, but I think you can come up with some amazing combos that can just obliterate opponents so easily. But then at the same time, if you don't draw into those combos, I think it's quite certain that you might lose the game. So it's going to be a very hit and miss kind of deck. Probably not very consistent in terms of you'll have the kind of same strategy every game, which I really like in a galaxy. It makes you have to think about it and use a lot of skill. It is probably the most complex archetype I've made for the game, so it might be difficult to get the hang of, and if you're a less experienced player, I'd probably recommend going for the Boulder Dragon Galaxy when I release that. But let me know how you think the 2 galaxies rank up. Let me know which one of these cards is your favourite. I personally really like the way I've done the artworks for these cards. I think the cards Kraka and Guok, Tree of the Nightjungle, are my favourites. But yeah, it's quite a unique archetype. Let me know what you think of it. Please like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Instagram if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.